Yo, welcome back to another episode. This time around, being that I'm fairly new to the MPC at this moment, I'm making the video that I wish that I could have found when I got an MPC, basically. So this is basically sample chopping for dummies. This is how you would import a sample, chop it up. I might chop up a break too because it's the same process. Sample is a sample. So this is basically like the start to finish from chopping a sample into the MPC using the new software, which is 3.0 or 3.4.3. So let's get into it. All right, so first of all, the way I have mine set up, it goes directly to a new drum track. There's no demo, there's no none of that. As soon as I turn it on, bang, right here. So what you would want to do, or what I would do, all right, there's two ways to do this actually. If you're going to sample from record, make sure that you have an input source, which would be obviously my turntable for the most part, or if you have like a Y cable, plug your phone in, and then you record from your phone directly in. And with the MPC One, you just press this button right here that says sampler, brings up your threshold. I would keep it pretty low so that no matter how low the input signal is, it will still start recording as soon as you press play. Unless that's not something that you want. This is the length of the amount of sample time, which is crazy because coming from this thing over here, I think there was like 32 seconds or something. Now it can go as high as you want, which is dope. So that's if you're going to sample from an audio source. We're not going to do that this time. We're going to make it real simple for the people that are literally just starting from scratch and want to just make a beat using a sample that they've downloaded or that they've already recorded, right? So you go to browse. This is where you're going to see all the different places that you have your files, basically. I have my SD card right here, and I'm going to go to this MooLatte sample so that I don't get sample, we call it copyright claim. You could hold the play button. Usually, for some reason, when you put the first one doesn't play, but you can hold the play button. Right. So what you want to do is have the pad that you want it to go to lit up. You could either press the load button or just press down on this this data knob, which I did change if you guys can see. So it's more like an old MPC with the little finger notch. Very useful. Then you go back to main. Now your sample is on pad 1. Right? And I always tell people the two main screens that you want is the main screen and the menu screen. Menu, you can get to everything from the menu screen, and the main screen is where you're going to do most of your damage. First thing that I would do from here is go to sample edit. If you don't have an MPC One and you're on a live or a live 2, you would have to go to menu, and then where would it be? Sample edit. This little turquoise looking greenish button right here, sample edit. But I have a dedicated button, sample edit. Right? So it defaults to going to trim. Trim is if you want to just take a segment of it and possibly truncate the front and the back, meaning take the section that you want and discard the front and the back of it. So, for example, you could you would hear that. You would adjust your start point, adjust your end point, and then you would press process, and then discard is basically truncate. If you know what it used to be was truncate on even on these old devices. But this makes more sense for in layman terms, I guess you would say. Cancel that because that's not what we want to do. I'll just undo, go back. So that's if you want to trim it and just have like a smaller section. Me personally, I want to chop it. So you press trim again, and then you come into the chop section. So basically the first chop is the first time you hit the pad, that's going to be your first chop. Stick with me. Then there's this zoom. There's these zoom things if you want to see things a little bit more, or you could actually pinch to zoom like a any touchscreen device. I'm not sure how clearly you could see this, but there's a tiny bit of space at the beginning before the first chop. So on these Q links, you want it to be on the furthest left, and you will see, because it's going to move these. You want the light to be on the one furthest to the left at the start point, and then these are to move it. See, oh, you can't see, but it says 10 times. I guess the increments. This one's 100 times. This is 1,000 times. So it's a lot more coarse. This is a way more coarse chop. This is a finer chop, and this is a finer chop than that. But I just want to use my ears for the most part, and my eyes a little bit, but we'll get to that. So with this particular sample, I know the BPM, which is kind of a cheat code. And based on how he probably played it, he probably played it to a click track. It might not be perfectly quantized, but it's 86 BPM, and it's going to be as close to 86 BPM as you're going to get without quantizing the audio, if that makes sense. So there's different ways that you could chop. You could do it by BPM, and then also there's regions, and that's just the amount of chops you want it to make. You know, this is 86 BPM, and I think it's like it's probably a 4 or 8 bar loop. I'm gonna do a manual, and I'm just gonna listen to the chops, and then as I press the new button, it's gonna add that chop to that pad. For example, and if you notice, it went to the second bank automatically. Once it filled up the 16 banks, it automatically goes to bank B. Even though I stopped it, you can still continue on. So I could press this again, or find the rhythm. And I just didn't add another one because I didn't want to go into a fourth bank. Okay, and then once you do that, you can start back, and then you can fine tune your chops. And then you're just using these Q-Link knobs to, you know, basically get them in the right spots. So go to bank C because I like those chops the best. And C, for some reason, there's 2 chops there, but what you could do is just click on it, hold shift, remove that slice. So yeah, I'm just gonna clean up these second half because I don't even want to use the beginning. I want to mix it up a little bit. So now that you have your chops, what you do now is you press Shift, convert. And what you're trying to do is convert it to a new drum track using slices. This slice parameter, I like to put non-destructive slice. I'm not sure what the difference is because even if I don't put that, I could still adjust the chops after the fact. But I know it just seems like the right thing to do. So now your chops are here, and they're in there. They cut each other off. Right? Which is dope. Now you could just mess around. Right? If you go to Program Edit, which I have a dedicated button, but like I said, go to Menu. It's actually Track Edit on any red. Like if you get it from the menu, it's this white thing. And this is where you can mess with the pitch of the sample. Right? You get the idea. A little trick that I learned, press play start, Shift and play start. Then you could hear the metronome live while it's on play. You could swipe up, turn on the metronome, or go to this thing, turn on the metronome, but that's just like a quick shortcut. Shift and play start. Off, on. And then you can kind of just audition the chops that you want to try. And then based on that, either my tempo is too slow, I'll go to like 87, or these chops are too fast, or both. So I'm going to slow these down. All right. And I'm going to do a full 8 bars. So what you want to do is go to your sequence. Underneath your sequence is the amount of bars in your sequence. Right now, there's nothing in my sequence. If you go to Arranger, you can see this is basically your piano roll. Nothing there. And then you want to press record and play start to start recording from the beginning. Play start will start from the beginning. Play will start wherever the playhead is. So if I was to start from there, it would start from the 4th bar. But I want to start from the beginning so that I can start recording my sequence. So that's how you record the sample, okay? And I'm gonna basically do the same thing, but with a drum break. So what I did was, you're in main, new track, which is here, bottom left, new track, drum. Or drum track is any sort of audio chop that you wanna bring in. Browse, I think I got my drum kits over here. Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's try one of these loops. That'll do. Highlight the pad that you want to put it on. Press the button in. It's on there. Same process now. Sample edit or menu, sample edit. I know how much bars it is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 4-bar loop. So, like I said, I could go by regions and have 8 regions maybe. Yeah, and they're very similar. There's not a lot of variation. If I really wanted to get intricate, I could go 16. That's what I would probably do. And then same thing, adjust the regions. Just because it's equally chopped doesn't mean that you can't still adjust them to make them perfect. A little bit more fine tuning because this is an unquantized drum break. But you still want it to hit on the transient when you press the pad. I got all my slices now. Shift, convert, same thing. New drum track, using slices, non-destructive slice. Do it. Go back to main. Well, like I said, that first one does not seem to be hitting where it's supposed to hit. It's a little late, so I could still adjust, which is dope. All right, back to main. I kind of want to hear the mention. Sample's a little loud, so what I would do is go to this, my sample chop, and over here is your kind of like your mixer. There's the full mixer over here, which I could also do. Turn it down a little bit, give it some room for the drums to kick through. Pretty simple, straightforward. Same thing, program edit. Make sure it's global so it's affecting the whole drum program, and then you could mess around with the pitch. I already recorded it, but you could still mess around with it. going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of Mother Ducker just to let it punch through. Usually you'd want to do it to a single instrument like the kick specifically, but because this is a break and it's chopped up, I'm just going to use the whole break as the trigger for the side chain. So you put the input on the drums, go to the sample, and then you put the whole thing on the sample. Play it. Turn on the threshold. A little bit too much. All right, so this is a short one. Pretty straight to the point. I'm not gonna do all this bass and all that kind of stuff because I'm really just trying to show how to chop as stupid simple as possible. So you input the sample, you go to sample edit, you go to chop because it will be defaulted on trim. You go to chop, make your chops, shift, convert to new drum track using slices, and then then you can do your performance and perform to the BPM, record it however you want to do it, and you can do the same for your drums. So hopefully you guys get the idea. Any kind of sound that you want to import from a WAV or MP3 file is basically a new track, drum track. In another video, I can go over plugins, key groups, all that kind of good stuff. But this is less. Hopefully, this is very helpful for the people because when I first tried the MPC with 3.0, there was not a definitive video that would tell me exactly how to chop from zero, from nothing. And that's what I'm most interested in. As a sample-based producer, I want to know how to chop my samples. That's why I got the most legendary brand for sample chopping. You know what I'm saying? So all that other stuff is good, plugins and piano roll and arrangement view and all that kind of stuff. That's all dope. That's all fun and dandy. But I needed to know how to chop samples and basically make a beat, a very simple rudimentary beat based off my taste of where I want to place my chops. There's nothing that the machine is going to do to teach me how and where to put the chops. So I wanted to know how to get to that point. And hopefully I made that video retroactively because obviously I already know how to do it. So if you guys want to see some more MPC stuff, let me know in the comments exactly what you want to know. I'm learning along with you guys. Some of you guys know a lot more than me, and you guys give me tips in the comments. And when I go live, sometimes I go live streams. So look out for those. Yeah, man, I'm really loving this machine. No regrets so far. I think I'm like 2.5 weeks in with it, and I haven't made a beat on anything since. So definitely still gonna be making SP videos. So all my SP users have no fear. But right now I'm just kind of in the honeymoon phase with this thing and I'm really loving it. Make sure you guys come check me out over on Patreon. I've been uploading a beat a week, every week for just $3. That tier is just $3 and that is eventually going to be turned into a beat tape, which I would then press onto a physical form, whether it be cassette, CD, vinyl, who knows. And then, the Patreon members will have first dibs. It'll be a very limited run. So make sure you guys go head over there. That's patreon.com/produced by Finn. Also follow me on Instagram, MCDJFinn. I post reels with some exclusive beats, all that good stuff. Also got the website, producedbyfinn.com. I'm going to start dropping some more stuff over there, drum kits, merch, all that good stuff. So Stay tapped in. So go subscribe if you're not a subscriber. As of right now, well, I'm using my phone to record, but I believe as of right now, we're at about 3,600. So keep subscribing, keep showing your love. You don't understand how much it means, and I appreciate it to the fullest. And I'm going to continue to make content. This is just a dope little outlet where I could just make my beats and entertain you guys a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So stay tapped in. Do all the things they tell you to do. Like, comment, subscribe. And with that being said,